Welcome back over a year away. I guess how good maybe does it feel to be here just on a fight week again?
Oh man, it feels great. This is where I'm in my element. I feel awkward pretty much everywhere outside of this arena. So it's nice to finally be someplace where I feel like I belong.
Yeah, obviously a pretty tumultuous time in your personal life. I guess your decision to kind of share that with the world and open up. I mean, any regrets in that, or happy that you did that? What's your take?
I got a lot of support, I guess you could say. So I don't know. I'm not happy or sad about it. I just I felt like it was something that I needed to do. And again, it wasn't to take a stab at anybody. It was more for my own personal issues, I guess. And it helped at the time of finding out. And when I first left for Texas, I was like walking around at 128 pounds, like couldn't finish a practice without being injured. I was just frail. And here just the other day I was 152, so my weight's back up, my spirits are back up, and I'm able to actually be a good training partner and a teammate for my team, which is important to me.
Yeah, I guess in some ways, was it good to like get that burden off your chest, to share that? I mean, I don't know, people deal with tragedy and stuff all the time, right? And they just kind of hide it, and then they never really get to address it. I mean, in any way, it was just like putting it out to the world, like almost helpful for you?
It really was. The thing is like I was the only one wearing it. Like my ex and the person that she is with now, they were living in my city, dating, being cool, and everybody thought that we separated because, I don't know, she said that I wanted to force her to move to Texas, or she said that we separated because of, I don't even know what the reasons were, but it wasn't the reasons that were the real reasons. So then I would come to my city and where I live, where my home is at, and people were telling me, oh, I heard you and Gina split up because of this or because of this. And then every interview they were asking me, well, how's Gina? How are you guys doing? And I was lying and making up excuses to protect these guys, and every time I did that, it was hurting me. And after it got out there, nobody was asking me anymore. I was getting like, oh, are you going to corner Kevin Croom in his next bare knuckle fight again? And I had to be like, oh no, we're not really cool anymore. And, oh no, Gina and I aren't really together anymore. And they would ask why, and I was like searching to make up excuses and lying for them to protect them. At the same time, that was hurting myself. And not even myself, what it was doing, it was making me, I was shelling up. I wasn't able to be a good dad. And I felt like not a great person before, and I felt like not a great fighter before, but I've never not felt like a great dad. So that was something that I had to change. I had to change for myself, and I had to change for my daughter. And after releasing it and getting a bunch of support, which, I don't know if that's what helped or just getting it off my chest, but I'm good. I'm feeling like I'm back to my normal self again.
That's awesome. Well, the relationship with the daughter obviously means most, but I guess the relationship with the sport, like, was that tough at all? Like, because obviously that's so much of your professional life as well. Was there any party that was just like, I don't know if I want to be around this sport anymore?
Yeah, it wasn't that I didn't know if I wanted to be around the sport. I just didn't know if I was going to be able to handle it. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to stay in Kansas City with my team and train. Like, Zach Cummings has a gym there now, and, I've cornered him in the UFC. He's cornered me in the UFC. Trey Ogden has a gym in Kansas City now, and we've been close for a long time. Those were places that I felt like I would have maybe been able to train at, but, those guys still go there and train or live there. And it was one of those things where I was either going to end up hurt or hurting somebody else or getting in trouble. So I was just lucky enough to be able to have a spot to go in Texas with Chris Brennan and Next Generation Mixed Martial Arts. It kind of saved my ass, really.
What's that relationship been like? Because Chris Brennan, maybe people that aren't old school, might not know who he is, but obviously the things he's accomplished, he's carrying on the lineage as well. But I guess what's it like being there? How's the adjustment been?
Man, it's unreal. And he's a legend in MMA. The real fans know that. But this is the first time in my whole life I feel like a professional athlete, and I feel like me giving 10% of my purse and everything that I make to a guy is well warranted. He lets me live in his beautiful house. All my meals they have somebody making all my meals, laying out my supplements. My schedule's laid out. They have a routine in the morning, and they don't drink, they don't smoke, they go to bed early. Like, everything is done really, really right and tight, and like I need that military style, like somebody standing over me telling me what to do. I crave that, and if I have that, I'm going to do good things. And I'm lucky enough, like I don't have to ask for anything, they just do. And I'm really blessed to be able to have that.
The matchup, does it mean anything to you? I mean, it seems like part of this is just like, let me just get back in there and fight. I don't give a hell. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, so originally it was Alan Nascimento, and then it changed to some Russian guy who had visa issues, and then it was back to Alan Nascimento, but at a later date. And I told him, like, I can't I can't fight at a later date. Like, I want to go back and see my kid. That's been the hardest part of this. I've been 6 weeks, I'm going back and see my kid once every 2 or 3 weeks. Like, she's always been with me. Her and I moved to Las Vegas when she was 1. Just the two of us. She's comes to my fights, come to my fight camp. She used to live at the PI here pretty much whenever we were here. So to be away from her was really hard. Then they said they had an opponent for June 3rd, and then it went back to, no, it's Nascimento on June 24th. And after that, I was like, hey, if that's the case, I want to be guaranteed my show money when this guy pulls out again, because I'm not going to wait around for this guy to pull out again, because I had a feeling that he was. They said, yeah, that's fine. And then a couple hours later, they called me and said that I got Victor Altamirano on June 3rd. So as far as the matchup goes, I couldn't pick a better stylistic matchup for me. It's with Nascimento, I was going to have to fight reserved and fight a boring fight, and I don't like that. With Victor, I can go out there and be 100% Tim Elliott and have a good time.
I think I saw at one point during this layoff, like you tweeted, like, "Why am I still in the rankings at this point?" Like, was that you, like, just was that maybe being in the depths, like being frustrated, or did you really feel that way, or what was that about?
Well, I mean, I know it's based on activity, and I haven't fought in almost 2 years. Like, well, I just was wondering, like, what are these guys doing? Like, are they just keep me in there just to have me in there? I mean, it's nice, but I just assumed after a year layoff, like, I would, be out of the top 12, 13, 14, 15. I just was surprised. And mostly on Twitter, I just like talking shit, so it's easy.
Last thing for me, I guess. Man, talk to me about where you feel like you are in your career, right? You have had to laugh. You had to deal with all this personal stuff. Is it more about, like, let's just get through this fight and see what happens? Or are you, like, refocused, re-energized? Like, where do you feel your career's going?
Oh, man, I've never been more excited, really. Again, I'm getting older. I'm getting maybe a little bit slower. My cardio maybe a little bit not up to par from what it used to be, but my skills and my technique and my fight IQ and my coach and my team is at an all-time high. So I'm never going to be able to out-train these young guys. I'm never going to be able to outwork these young guys. But what I can do is I can out-game plan them. I can do my diet, my nutrition, my morning routine. I can do all that better than everybody because I have a coach that's forcing me to do that. So it's really, I'm feeling like a professional athlete. I feel like I'm in the NFL. Like I'm taking care of my body. I'm not drinking no more. I'm doing everything right for a 36-year-old guy fighting a bunch of young kids.
Hey, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Were you surprised at how much support that you got after you released your personal news? Like, it seemed like the entire MMA community was like backing you.
Yeah, it was. The MMA community can be kind of mean and kind of cruel. So I got a little bit of that, but for the most part, everybody was really supportive. And I ended up pulling the post down, I think, after 9 million people went across my Twitter. But the support that I was getting was great from the MMA community, but a lot of it was guys who had went through something similar, not just being, cheated on, but like even on their wedding night. Like, and I was surprised at how many people, and after reading hundreds of that, and people telling me like, it's going to take this amount of time or this amount of time, but you're going to get better. It's going to end up being a good thing for you. It actually made me feel better. And yeah, honestly, I don't know if I would have made it to the fight without, feeling better, because where I was at wasn't a good spot.
You said that you're currently on a bad luck gym streak. Are you hoping that this is going to be your new good luck one?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm putting everything into this gym and everything into this team and everything into this coach. And I told Chris Brennan, I was like, I moved to Las Vegas to train with Robert Follis. He killed himself. I was living at his house. I moved to Kansas City to train with Glory MMA, and the FBI shut the gym down. And so I was like, I hope you're ready. And he said, he's like, I like a challenge. So here we are, and, we'll see.
And then just finally, just with this training camp, and like you said that your daughter is in a private school, so like, going forward, are you just going to come out to Texas, or are you looking to like maybe bring your daughter out to Texas as well?
At first, I thought I would try it out and see, but after being there, I feel like that's got to be the place for me. Plus, and I asked for this, but Chris told me like he don't want guys just coming in just for camps, and it's not fair for me to come there for a camp and have the team help me and me not be there to help them whenever I'm out of camp. So my goal is to find a spot there, win this fight, find a spot there, buy a house, and take my daughter out there. I put my daughter in kind of a hard position, but she's 8 and she's well adjusted. And I asked her, I was like, do you want to stay in your school with your friends that you have here, or do you want to come to Texas with me? And she said right away, like, I want to go wherever you go. So that's what we're going to do. That's the goal anyway.
First of all, awesome that your daughter said that. That must mean a lot to you. Tweet itself. I've tweeted some stuff that's got a big reaction. I know as the notifications come through, you're a bit like, oh shit, what have I done? I've never had 9 million people look at my tweet. Was there a moment when you put it out there that you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that? Or was it the moment you put it out there, you're like, oh, finally, relief?
I kind of went back and forth on it, and I don't know that it was the right thing, but for me, it was the right thing. And again, it was not to try to hurt anybody else. It was 100% to try to help myself. And I didn't know if it was going to hurt or help, but I knew the position that I was in and how I was feeling, that it wasn't going to be good. I was going to wind up in jail or hurt or, even worse. So I don't regret anything. But again, I don't wish any hard feelings on anybody, especially not Gina. Like, I love her. Like, I still love her and I care about her, but like, I just can't be in her life or can't have anything to do with her. And, it is what it is.
I commend you and thank you for answering these questions. I'm sure it's a bit awkward and not great.
Hey, Tim, just one over here. I know you said there's a lot of guys that have reached out to you that have kind of been in the similar situation or dealing with mental health issues. What advice would you give guys that are, having relationship troubles or dealing with mental health issues? What kind of advice would you give them?
Man, especially for fighters, I know it's hard to ask for help or to talk to people, but for me, that was and I didn't even have it in me to really ask for help. I just put it out there, and then people offered the help. And surprisingly enough, it helped a ton with other people's experiences and stuff. And then not only that, the MMA community, like Lando Venata messaged me on Twitter, like, he's my favorite fighter to watch. And I don't know if he knows that, but he sent some words of encouragement that really helped. Chris Levin messaged me. Like, I had like legit fighters and fathers and husbands like coming to me and telling me. Sean Strickland just tapped me on the shoulder and gave me some words of encouragement. And I was like, holy shit. So like, I don't know. It's all been positive, and I don't think I would have got the help that I needed without putting it out there and asking for it. And I put it out there, so technically I was asking for it. And just, it's hard for a man to ask for help, especially a fighter. Like, you're supposed to be like a certain type of guy. And, I was weak. I was weak in those moments. And, I'm a soft dude, like outside of the cage. Like, I'm sensitive. I'm an emotional person. It's just who I am. And I care about everybody, like the people that I don't know, and I can't help it. So, I take shit personally and I take it to heart. So it was devastating. But again, I had so many people giving me positive information that it's easy to go past and shuck off the bad ones. So that would be my only advice. Thank you, guys.